We have all seen AI chatbot in Flutter, usually just a long list of text bubbles. But what if the AI could actually build the app's interface while you are talking to it? Today we are diving into the GenUI, the experimental new SDK from the Flutter team. Instead of just returning text, GenUI allows LLMs like Gemini to reach into your own widget catalog and render real interactive Flutter components like carousel, form, and date picker right in the middle of conversation. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the GenUI orchestration layer, define your widget list, and build an AI experience that feels like a real app, not just a chat window. So let's get started. So if you can see, I have already initialized the Firebase in this project. And if I show you my pubspec.yaml file, I already have some dependency added inside it. Three of them are GenUI, GenUI Firebase AI, and Firebase Core. So basically, you need Firebase integration. For that, if you know, you can integrate Firebase in your project, in your Flutter project. If you don't know, you can watch any other video and take the reference and initialize the Firebase inside your project. Apart from that, I have already initialized the Firebase, nothing else. And in this, we have the home widget, which is called GenUI Chat, which is nothing but a simple stateful widget. Now let's get started with the documentation part. I simply go ahead and open the GenUI documentation, for which I'll share the link, or you can simply go to pub.dev and find this, search this GenUI. You'll get this. Now if we follow the documentation, we can see here we need these three classes to be initialized. So I'll simply go ahead and copy this part, suppose this one, and I'll go and simply paste that inside my widget. Sorry. Now let's go back again, and I'll simply copy the entire code which is getting initialized in init function. I'll simply copy it. Let's go ahead in the editor and simply paste it here. So if you see here, we have initialized our A2 UI message processor with a list of catalogs, and this catalog, if you see, is part of this package itself. I have not created anything by myself, and in this package, if you see, there's so many widgets are predefined, and we are going to use this widget itself. So LLM will decide itself which widgets it needs to show, and it will display according to it. So this is already, we are not defining our own widget, any of our own widget. So for now, we just go ahead with the simple widget which is already predefined. So I'm passing that into the A2UI message processor, right? So our next part is we need to create a content generator to communicate with the LLM. So if you see here, I just copied it, and here also we need to pass two things are mandatory. One is the catalog, which is same as this one, and the instruction. So for the instruction part, I simply say you are assistant who let your chatbot who talks to client and take their name and number. Thank you. Then say thank you to end the conversation. So yeah, let's keep this a simple conversation. So this is my instruction. You need to give instruction to the LLM what you are trying to achieve through this chat. So our next part is we have the GenUI conversation. GenUI conversation we are passing in the A2 in the GenUI conversation. We are simply passing our A2 UI message processor. We are passing the content generator, and we also have two functions on surface edit. This requires a function on surface edit, and this also requires a function. So let's again go ahead with the documentation. I'll don't want to waste time in writing these things, so I'll simply copy these functions. If you see it, I'll simply copy this required function and I'll simply go ahead and paste it somewhere here. So yeah, I have pasted it. We need this surface IDs list from this surface ID. Okay, I'll simply copy this surface ID and again I'll go back and let's paste it here. So basically surface IDs are the ID for the UI which will be generated when we while we are talking to LLMs. So while the conversation, there may be chances the surface ID gets added or surface ID gets removed from our chat. So yeah, this is the orchestration part. We have most of the things aligned, and if I go back to the documentation part, let's see what else we need to do. So again, now this is the UI part, very simple. App bar, whatever you want, you can add it. We need a list view builder, and in the list view builder, what we need, we need to display in the UI whatever item length of we will take the length of the surface IDs, and whatever surface ID we have, we will just simply pass those surface ID into the GenUI surface widget, which again comes from the GenUI library itself, and this is how it looks. So I'll simply copy this part. This is expanded. If you see here, I have copied and pasted the entire list view builder, and if you can see here, this is added. And yeah, so if you see, I have not done anything other than copying the code from the library itself, from the documentation itself. So we have the entire this code here available. Now very last thing we need is a text field. Why text field? So that we can give any instruction to the so that we can start chatting. So if you see in that part also, I'm going to copy from the documentation itself, copying the list of items inside the row, and I'm just going to define my own row here. So let's do it. And children, and since we have the list of widgets with us, simply sometimes LLMs are very frustrating. Okay, so we need another thing, the text controller and the send message function. We need text controller again here. So what again, let's go to the documentation again, let's copy that part. We need text editing controller, we can write it out on surface deleted on some, and we need this. So let's paste this function, send message function, and we can write fine editing controller. Great, looks like we are all done. I'll simply hot reload. Let's see our preview. Great. So if you see at the bottom, we have a text field which says enter message. We have a send button. Before writing anything, before testing this out, I just want to explain the code once again. So let's go back to our editor. So starting from here, we have this classes A2 UI message processor, we have GenUI conversation, and we have the surface ID, list of surface IDs, which is the ID of the widget, and we have the text editing controller. Simple, this text editing controller is used for uh, like uh, handling the text input while conversation. And we also have the send message, which simply the task of the send message is very simple. Whenever we click on the send button inside the UI which we have created just now, so this send message gets triggered and it just checks whether we have whether the if the string is empty, and if user is trying to click on the send button without entering any text, it will not get fired. So this is kind of safety code. Next we have, when we have the GenUI conversation class, from there we get a function name called send request. This simply takes our text and send it to LLM. So this is the job of the send message. Now, if we can see, these are the classes which I already explained. What we are doing, we are initializing it with the catalogs. Existing catalog, we have the content generator where we have the system instruction. We write the instruction here. We have the GenUI conversation. So these are very few things which we need to do. And we also have the surface ID which is simply which gets called from this GenUI conversation. Whenever some surface is added, we are simply adding that in our list of surface IDs, which we have defined already here in the with the surface ID, which is a list of string. So when this gets added, we do set state. When it's get deleted, again we do set state so that UI can refresh and our new widget which is get generated can be visible on the screen. So looks like we are good to go with the very first part, very simple starting part. So I'll simply go ahead. My app is now ready to display generated UI. I'll simply type hello and wait for the result. Now if you can see, the agent decided which widget to display as per my instruction. If you remember, I gave instruction to act as a chatbot and take username and phone number. So here we are with the text field, which is asking me to enter my name. So this is what we have got with our minimal code, which we just copy and pasted from the official documentation. So the result is not very promising because instead of uh, getting one text field, I'm getting three text field in the chat. But that we can handle it. So I just wanted to show you how GenUI works. So if you can see, instead of normal text, we are actually getting widgets inside our chat. So which is way better than a normal text conversation. So this is it. Thank you. If I'll get good response in this video, I'll create a next part of it where I'll tell you how to take response from these widgets. Also how to show your own custom widget in the chat. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.